Hey everyone, welcome to Chisholm Prism. My name is Taylor Chisholm, and today in this video I wanted to talk about walkable cities. And I know this kind of seems like a random topic, but it's one of the biggest reasons why I love Chicago and think it's such an amazing city. I want you to find the city that fits your personality and who you are, and I'm gonna go through a rundown of why I think this makes it top-notch. There are definitely benefits of living in a very dense, walkable city because a lot of cities in America aren't walkable, and I'm sure we're all aware of this. You need a car to get anywhere.
Those who live in walkable neighborhoods, steps are easily accumulated throughout the day, walking to work, to pick up groceries, or to meet with friends. And living where shops and amenities are easy to get to on foot comes with its own set of perks. Residents in these communities are often less reliant on vehicles.
And for me, I grew up in the suburbs, and you definitely needed a car just to go get ice cream, go to the grocery store, go to the gym, go to these places. And I think that almost separates a lot of people from just daily interactions and bumping into each other in our casual lives. Finding a community is very important, and I think cars almost limit and separate us all, especially if you're younger and you're trying to find yourself and you're going through your career, trying to find a relationship, those kind of things. Like being in a more central, walkable city give you those opportunities to interact with strangers and your potential friend or partner. And this had me thinking. I was talking to a friend recently about the loneliness crisis that has been happening.
One study of seniors in Hong Kong found that those living in more walkable neighborhoods reported feeling less loneliness and more life satisfaction than those living in less walkable neighborhoods.
Especially for the youth, I think we live in this world with a lot of screens, and it's not helping us from all the distractions that we have in social media, online. Like, we're living so virtually that I think we're feeling that separation. People are having a hard time finding friends and finding partners and starting relationships. That is going to affect us, of course, down the line of how we interact with each other, but also just our mental state. Walkable cities like Chicago can get you out of the house more. That being said, you have to find a city that fits your personality. I think that's the most important part or decision that you can make in your life, because that changes a lot of the trajectory of what your life could be, possibly. You don't need a car in Chicago, and that's one of the beautiful parts of this city. I know a lot of people, they talk about moving here and they end up selling their car, or they never needed to buy a car. And some people do keep a car, but they need a garage and other stuff. It just adds more of a headache. I think Chicago has a decent enough public transportation system that a lot of people rely on, and you don't need it if you live closer into the city neighborhoods. America has an issue with highways. There's an obsession with cars here in this country, and I don't understand it. I've been to Texas, I've been to Nevada, I've been to even California in some areas, and you need a car to do anything. There are spots in areas, neighborhoods that are walkable, are more of a smaller community with a town center or something, but genuinely, I think America needs more walkable, interactive communities and hubs.
One big reason is that many people don't have access to safe, well-maintained places to stroll. Despite the known benefits of walking, many cities and towns have been designed with only driving in mind. State and local governments across the globe often prioritize funding for highways and roads over sidewalks and public parks.
It doesn't just have to be a big, dense city, right? But more suburban areas with like a little town center and walkable, accessible neighborhoods. Like, it's detrimental to us as people. You go to other countries and they're more compact, they're more small, they use their space wisely, but it seems like here we have large strip malls, miles and miles of highways and roads, and it's really just designed for cars, and it's not for people. It's not designed for people. And it's all like, why aren't our areas designed for us? at least here in Chicago, we have bike lanes, we have a lot of walking paths, there's a lot to do on foot, and you can get around very easily.
I forgot my bus pass. Can I get a free ride?
I only got 2 dimes and a nickel. Can I still ride?
Can I get a courtesy ride? Can I get a courtesy ride? Can I get a free ride? Can I get a courtesy ride? Can I ride? Can I get a courtesy ride? Can I ride a courtesy ride?
I also wanted to take a moment just to thank from the bottom of my heart everyone who has liked, viewed, subscribed, shared any of my content throughout the years that I've been doing YouTube. It's very much appreciated, and I try to reply to as many comments as I get in. I have a lot more planned for this coming year in 2025. Also, Happy New Year. I hope you were safe and had a great celebration. But there is a lot coming, so go ahead and subscribe so you can stay up to date. And I'm also very excited. We're close to 2,000 subs on the channel. I have a special gift that I've been working on for months that I want to give you guys once we hit that number. So go ahead and subscribe. That really means a lot. It's really cool, and I'm excited to show you guys. So, and the only comparable city that comes to mind, right, is New York City. But at the same time, New York City is it's overcrowded, it's very expensive, and it's dirty. And I can already see someone who's gonna be in the comment and they're gonna be yelling at me, being like, why are you talking like that about my hometown? Why are you talking about the... I get it, okay? But listen to me. It's overhyped. I'm just gonna say it. We all know it. You're spending so much money to live in a shoebox, and you ain't got alleyways and the rats are running around. Who wants that?
So here's some reasons why I think you should come to Chicago on your next holiday instead of going to New York City. And Chicago is so much cleaner than New York. I'm not trying to put New York down or anything, it has its own perks, but New York is genuinely so dirty. There are rats everywhere, there is trash everywhere, it's inescapable, to be honest. I've been here for 8 days and I haven't seen a single rat, whereas when I was in New York, I might as well have been living in Zootopia, to be honest. Number 3, and I feel like this one is obvious, but New York is so expensive. I mean, I stayed in quite a nice 4-star hotel at the start of my stay here in Chicago that was literally cheaper than a hostel in New York. And don't even get me started on the price of food in New York. I mean, if you've been there, you'll know. It's scary.
So in comparison, I think if you don't have a car, if you don't want a car, and that cuts a lot of your expenses, go to a walkable city, come to Chicago. We got it going on over here. And go ahead, write down below if you know some neighborhoods and some areas across the US that are really walkable and accessible that you think is also a really great option. I'd love to hear other thoughts on this. All I'm gonna say, find the city that you feel is best for you. If you love your car, if you love driving, definitely Chicago might cause you some issues unless you live on the outskirts. I'm gonna be honest. Or you got some money and you willing to pay for parking, tickets, garages. Like, there's a level to that stuff, and insurance, I'm sure, goes up high. So keep that in mind. All I'm gonna say is, frankly, living without a car, for one, is really great for your health, because I gotta walk to the grocery store, I gotta carry all this stuff, I gotta do this, go that, but it keeps you active and lively. And I feel like sometimes nowadays, like, we ain't moving that much.
It seems like nobody wants to work these days.
You ain't moving your body a lot, and you gotta, you know, get up and dance a little bit. Like,
Research shows that adding even a modest amount of walking to your daily routine can dramatically improve your health.
I didn't learn that the average American walks a paltry 3,500 steps per day, even though we know, based on science and top journals, that simply walking 7,000 steps a day slashes by 40 to 60% our risk of Alzheimer's, dementia, type 2 diabetes, cancer, and obesity.
and especially because I work from home, I'm remote, so like I don't really get out as much. So this forces me to go out, mingle, have to do things, like actively put myself in social situations so I don't go crazy, right? And I totally get it. Like, public transportation in the city can get shady. Like, I've seen some crazy stuff on the CTA. I mean, sometimes it smells like pee. Sometimes people are dealing drugs on the train. Somebody's blasting their music. Somebody's acting up, running back and forth on the train, like skateboarding, smoking. I have seen a lot. And I mean, anyone who lives in Chicago knows. But at the same time, I think it evens out with the benefits of having a more walkable city versus that chaos, okay? To each their own. Again, find what works for you and you'll be fine. And of course, the neighborhood you live in makes it easier or harder to get around and have access to certain things. I'm gonna make an updated video about Chicago neighborhoods, but again, there's a ton of stuff on YouTube where people are going through different neighborhoods and they are talking about them too. So if you're curious about that, if you know, you know, but if you don't, I will be making an updated video on that soon. That's my hot take on what I think is one of the biggest reasons why Chicago is a top-notch city. The walkability, the accessibility is amazing here, and I think it might benefit your lifestyle. Again, choose what's best for you. That's all I'm gonna say. It's just my thoughts, my opinions, and I hope it helps you in whatever thing you're doing. So thank you for watching. I hope you have an amazing day and I'll see you till next time. Bye.